Talking to Jim Newman. Thanks for visiting my little place here. You're on your way back to Austria
Yeah.
with the airplane from Schiphol.
Yeah.
And we're quite near Schiphol. We can hear some airplanes flying over. Maybe your airplane is flying over. That would be great. You did some meetings in Amsterdam.
Yep.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was nice. Really nice. Nice people. Nice meetings.
What makes a crowd nice?
What makes a crowd nice? Well, I guess they're all mostly nice. Crowds. I don't know how to answer that. What makes a crowd nice? I never thought of it.
That would imply that there are also sometimes crowds who are a little like all firing difficult questions.
I like firing difficult questions.
Yeah?
I like people who don't believe what's being shared there. I like it when there's a little bit of a tension, because it's just sometimes it brings some different answers out that aren't, you're not running over the same program all the time. There's some, we did have on Sunday, we had a philosopher who wanted to make a philosophy out of it. And that was interesting for a little while.
And then it got annoying?
Yeah, I got a little, well, he just kept going over, he wanted to make it into a philosophy, but then he wouldn't stay logical with his philosophical, what do you call it? Syllogism, logical deduction. He just wouldn't stick with it. So he's coming up from all over the place. And that gets a little boring when somebody's trying to just make a story out of it. When somebody's just trying to get, some sort of their own ideas into it and aren't listening to what's being said. Yeah.
That's an interesting subject already, because some people tell me non-duality is based on an old Indian philosophy.
Well, of course, non-duality isn't based on anything. It's non-dualism points to this as being a non-dual, as not two. So that's not a philosophy, and it doesn't have any respect for any ancient times.
So it's not about Advaita Vedanta from India, all the Upanishads years ago, which is now translated in, like, let's say, a modern formula.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the Upanishads and about Advaita Vedanta. I think it means the knowing of not two, and I don't know what that means.
It's not the same that what you talk about?
Well, this isn't about knowing anything. So what's being shared in the meetings is not about something that's known. It's pointing to the fact that what appears is unknowableness.
Unknowableness. So it's hard to get words for that then.
Well, in one way it's impossible. It's utterly impossible, because there isn't a word or a concept or a position outside of everything to point to what's being suggested. So in that sense it's completely impossible. But you can discuss about what hides that reality. The experience of being an individual, the experience of position, the experience of knowing as real, me being real.
I've heard these words before from Tony Parsons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has he been let's say...
He's the guy.
Yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
He's the guy you visited?
Yeah. It's the first time I heard this. It was through Tony Parsons.
In Amsterdam?
No. I saw a video of him, and then I called him up. And I can't remember what it was. I just remember being utterly terrified by the message. I just suddenly heard what he was saying. I heard it. It was undeniable. As soon as I heard it, it was like, that's it. That's undeniable.
Were you a spiritual searcher?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I had the unfortunate calamitous experience of having an awakening when I was younger. And that, of course, will make anybody into a spiritual seeker. Yeah, hopeless spiritual seeker. And that's why I was trying to find something I thought I knew.
How old were you?
I don't know. Younger.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not about an awakening. It's not about finding something you lost.
No, it's actually the end of that experience that something's been lost. It's the end of that experience of feeling like something needs to be found. That's actually what non-dualism points to. It's not about the completion or an answer being found. It's the end of the seeking without anything ever having been found.
Sounds quite disappointing.
Oh yeah, it would be. If the individual knew what this was, it would be disappointed. It doesn't fulfill the individual's needs in any way at all. It has nothing for it. The individual expects the end of its search to have some correlation to its expectations. So for the individual, this appearance in its life is very, very important.
It's about me.
Oh man, but not just me. I'm the most important me in the world. And my world and my life are very complex. There's all sorts of aspects everywhere. And so it expects that the solution to its problem, to itself, it's somehow gonna reflect that expectation that what it is really complex and really complicated. So it expects a Jesus or something else, realization, to come along and save it. And the recognition that the solution to that problem, if you want to put it that way, is that it's not. It's completely disappointing.
And
doesn't give it anything.
No. You leave us empty-handed.
Well, the message, the individual is empty-handed. That's
Yeah.
the reason it keeps wanting more and more and more.
And is it like when you hear this for the first time, it's like sometimes an atom bomb, boom. But then, in my case, I get the yearning to talk about it, read about it, watch movies about it. Is that wrong?
No, I don't know how it could be wrong. This isn't about the message is the end of right and wrong. How could anything be wrong if there's only what's happening? How could anything be wrong if this is already complete?
Yeah.
Wrong implies that this appearance has some sort of intention, that there's a right way to be and a wrong way to be. Yeah. It doesn't.
So if you guys would miss your plane in a couple of hours,
well, that would be wrong.
That would be wrong.
No, I'm just kidding. It'd be inconvenient.
Yeah, but it's also not about what I heard some people say here on the couch. Be with what is, and then just go namaste to the airplane, or how do you call it, the office at the airport.
Acceptance. You're talking about acceptance.
You could become angry and say, damn it, we missed the plane.
Yeah, well, maybe. Anything can happen. It's not about acceptance.
It's not about, being what is, being with what is, and acting like you don't care.
The individual always has a part of its solution itself in it. So it always has, if it wants to solve its apparent problem with feelings and thoughts, it doesn't have many choices except to either become detached or to accept them. Because those are the only solutions it can still be a part of and still be okay.
Yeah.
What's being shared here is completely different. It's the end of that need for things to be one way or another. It's the end of the need of acceptance.
But still you have preferences.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So you don't feel the need to make the world a better place.
Well, there's no one here. But why not make the world a better place? It's not about what arises. It's that what arises isn't actually happening for anyone. Isn't actually happening for anyone.
Is it about the intention then that's behind it?
Well, there isn't any intention.
But when I'm a me, it seems like I want to make it a better world.
There actually isn't a me.
Okay.
There just isn't. So just because there's an experience of separation, just because there's an experience of intention does not make it true. It's just a dream that the individual is in, or is. And when that happens to stop, it's revealed it never happened. It doesn't actually affect the appearance. This isn't going anywhere. It's not real in that sense of consequence. So the individual has no consequence to what's happening. Only in its dream world is there consequence.
Okay, so there's no action-reaction.
Apparently there is. It's just not real.
And what's in it for me to know that it's not real?
Nothing. The whole message, and this is why it's surprising anybody listens to this or comes to a meeting, it has nothing to do with the individual.
Yeah.
It just isn't for the individual. It'll never hear it, never get anything out of it. There's nothing in it for it. The individual is a positivity. It's a charge. I'm real. And that positivity is looking for more positivity and trying to avoid negativity. This message has no value, has no charge at all. So it doesn't relate to a positive, negative experience in any way whatsoever. So it'll be taken sometimes as positive by the individual because it'll hear something it likes, or negative because it doesn't get anything out of it. But actually the message has no charge.
It's
completely neutral.
Yeah. So it doesn't attract, or doesn't...
It doesn't do anything. It can have the individual can have a reaction to it or a response to it. But the message doesn't do anything. It has no intention in it. It's not that not being a me is better than being a me. It's not that this should look a certain way or that me should drop or that something else should happen. It's not that at all. It's mainly pointing to what can't be spoken about and describing the experience that hides that, what can't be spoken about. That's all it does. This doesn't have any movement in it really at all.
Yeah. So it's not about let's say we have the climate change.